Let's get the torch pointed in the right direction here. Definitely been a chapter. This has been a chapter in the days of our lives here. This here, swivel casting, drawbar casting, whatever you prefer to call it. Hey guys, Johnny here, coming at you from the land of junk here in central Pennsylvania. Sunny but chilly today. It was 80 something the last couple days, and today's 37. I guess that's spring in the mountains for you. I'm working on this hitch for this trailer. Right now I'm working on this 3/4 fine nut castellated nut here that I completely demolished trying to get this thing apart. You wait, I show you. I'm gonna run my tap through there and clean that up because it's hard to find castle nuts that look like that. So that'll go back on. That's a 3/4 fine. I don't know if the bolt's still here. No, it's somewheres is. I had to heat this up with the grass burner. I call it the flamethrower, and this entire casting was extremely hot. So much so it burned all the paint off of it. I still had to beat this bolt out of here. The press wouldn't do it. This press out here, that's a 20-ton jack in there, and that homemade press. That wouldn't do it, and I think I started to tweak that. I started to tweak it. That wouldn't do it. I had the press wound out, so I just started beating on it with the sledgehammer and started to get it loose and moving. Every time I make a video, I probably have, however long the video is, I usually have that much garbage footage. Found the original. I mean, it was in there. I mushroomed it out pretty good getting it off of there. Tried to press on it with the press, just didn't go. Another issue you see with these older bolts, the heads are a different diameter than the nut. So I'll have to deal with that if I replace this bolt. These kind of things matter to me. It really shouldn't, but it does. So I might try to restore this bolt. Take a grinder around there to get my die started and maybe chase these threads. Maybe use a thread file and get it to where I can get the die started. It's almost too nice of a bolt to throw it away just because it's mushroomed out a little. We'll see. That's where I am with that. I'm gonna have to drill this. Come on, you piece of... I'm gonna have to drill this. Well, you're still not gonna focus, are you? $800 for a telephone camera, and it won't even focus. That's right, big dog, one-handed. Bet you thought I was gonna break that bit, huh? Gotta tighten that up. Hey guys, Johnny here, coming at you from up in the holler. Today's the day I think we're gonna be getting old Beautiful here out of hibernation there. Poor little thing. Got a couple things to tighten up, then we're gonna give her hail on the hollow trail. All right, so mission successful for me. The Y pipe's in and the front diff is not leaking anymore. So either I fixed that leak or it's out of oil. We'll find out. Y pipe's in, O2 sensor, gotta plug that in. Here's our V-band joint. And then I ran into a problem back here. So I assumed that this, where Eden's at here, I hope that's the right angle. Speaking of angles, it's what I messed up here. I assumed that the cat came straight off the Y pipe, so that's how I set it up and welded it. Though My previous cat, though it was deleted, did not. It was inboarded a little bit of an angle, and it leaves me with a difference of about 3/4 to 7/8 where this is outboard too much. So what I'm going to have to do is weld up a new cat mount. No big deal, easy fabrication, but if I do it here, I'm going to have to use the Hobart, and it's just going to be more of a pain than anything else. So I'm going to put the rest of the exhaust together and wire this up temporarily just to get it home, and then make this, I might take this cross member out. I don't know if you guys remember that in my previous trips, I'd always complain about this squealing noise, like a bearing was going out. What it is this drive shaft must expand a few thousandths, and when it gets hot or something moves here, and it rubs. I don't know if you guys can even see that. It rubs that cross member. So I'm probably going to take this cross member out and weld a little, or use a torch and put a little clearance onto that cross member, so I don't have to listen to that anymore. So many problems are being addressed here at one time. And hopefully I'm getting all of my laying under this thing out of the road now before we're halfway across the country and I have to do it then. So I'd rather lay on concrete in a nice garage instead of in some muddy field somewhere trying to do something in the field. So I'm gonna get these tightened up and then we'll be on the road. Loaded up and trucking. Need my 15. Where's my 15 at? Oh, there it is. Everything looks right. John, you're not using stop nuts. What's wrong with you? You're a terrorist. Listen, I took a tap through these stop nuts and made them not stop nuts. And with those springs, I've never had a problem with this ever working loose. I'd rather, and I'd rather they fall off than bust a exhaust manifold stud off. Do you know what I mean? If I had my druthers, as they say in these parts. Okay, other side. I think this is the side I really needed to swivel for. I remember there was one of these that you really can't even get to without a swivel correctly. There we go. See, exhaust clamps should just come with stainless hardware. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. Where is the old VD sauce here? It spreads like crazy. I'll put a little bit of razzle dazzle on here. Whoa, buddy. Get already. What an idiot. All right, firing a hole. £45 of oil, 14 volts. Sounds good. No bad leaks. It's if we can crawl out of here. It's much quieter. All right, now I have some cleanup to do, and we can get up the road here. Bar, and I talk about it every time. Hey guys, Johnny here, coming at you from a beautiful, cloudless central Pennsylvania in late April, and we're working on this. I call it a stretcher or a strut. This ties the bottom of my torsion bar key cross member together. Okay, so if you have a sharp eye, you can see that's the, let me zoom in here. There's where my torsion bar key is. Normally, that's a pretty substantial cross member, and it goes all the way straight across. Okay? And it ties the top and the bottom of the frame together. Dad came up with this design to get the torsion bar cross member, which is an integral part of this chassis, up and over the transfer case because the engine's set back so far. And this design includes a stretcher bar that goes underneath everything to tie the bottom edge of the frame together and keep the frame from twisting under any kind of load on the front end. So you already have weight on the front, which is putting torsion into the torsion bars, and it already has a static twist in the frame if the bottom of this frame isn't supported. So as soon as you put loads on that, it's going to twist the frame even more. So it does work because I can't take that stretcher out unless the front end is unloaded. So it already has some built-in tension into it. Holds the bottom of this frame together pretty well. So the reason I took it out is because, as you can see here, the back edge of my catalytic converter mounts to that stretcher with the rubber bushings and all the factory accoutrement that goes along with it. One of the drawbacks of the V-band clamp that I didn't mention in my previous video is that the fore and aft and the angle is all fixed permanently, so your alignment is critical. And I hadn't considered that. And so my up and down is right, but my left and right was not. You can see Operation Short Shaft was a full and complete success. There's no, well, it's sitting on an incline now, but there's no slop in that at all. Spins nice and true. There's plenty of movement. It's just, it really worked out. The only drawback is we got some rubbing on the strut, which is another reason I took it out. Okay, let's go back. Is my camera backwards? Okay, so we're back here at the strut. This is facing from the rear. I don't know if the camera is inverted. It was confusing me there for a second, but over here is the cat with our rubber bushing mounts and mount pads. This side is done. I have to cut and move this mount because now it's in the road of the tailpipe donut or whatever you call that joint there that's like a adjustable joint. This is in the road, so it has to be moved. Here you can see where my drive shaft was rubbing here. I don't think we're at the point where I have to cut and relieve this and weld something in. I'm just gonna take the torch and knock a little more clearance into this. And this can go back in, everything can get bolted up. I have to finish the mount that bolts to the cat, that bolts to this. Are you confused yet? I'm trying. Then that can go back in and get bolted up and set there, and then I'm gonna take the tailpipe out and fix it. It has a big hole in it that I have to weld up. And then the only thing left with that, where is it at? Oh, it's all the way over there. The only thing left with it then is to, I gotta fix the edge binding on my summer top. It's starting to degrade pretty seriously. And one of my eyelets on the front is starting to, I'm afraid it's gonna pull through. So I'm gonna have to do something there too. Maybe knock a new eyelet in and do something, stick some plastic or something in there. I'm not sure what to do yet. Whoa, horsey. This is really too big of a hammer for this. I don't want to go, you get metal red hot, it's very easy to move it with a big hammer. That should be enough. Yeah, that'll be enough, definitely. Now this, I'm gonna let that cool a little bit, hit it with some paint. I already welded, bubble gummed this mount on. This is ready to go back in. All right, guys, you can kind of see what we're dealing with here. Modified this one. This is good. This is our stretcher. Modified this mount. You can see what the problem is. This mount was up in here before, right where I needed to be, where originally, you can see how far we are away from this mount. Originally, this cat was over here about 3/4 of an inch. It was right in here, which I really should have thought about this before, but I got ahead of myself, because if I had a clearance problem with my torsion bar cross member here, I would have had an issue and I would have needed a tissue. But luckily, I just needed, it's close enough that all I have to do is modify this catalytic converter mount. So everything's mounted up. You can see we cut a little bit of, knocked a little clearance in the strut for that great big triple pot, or whatever you call this type of CV. I know there's a lot here to take in because this is such a custom machine here, but where I'm at now is just modifying this original bracket and moving my homemade brackets, and it looks like I'll be able to maybe come straight off of this upper bracket and tie right into it. I don't like doing sharp angles like that. I like to curve things when I can. I might be able to do something like that. This piece here for my tailpipe doesn't come all the way in against this, so I mean, I can come over here close to this hole, just like that. Cut a little triangle piece there. Then we'll be in business. Take the brackets out, weld them up. Bada bing. Well, here it is. Kind of a goofy looking mount, but at least it's done, and it's gonna hold my stupid cat in there. Well, guys, I'm gonna get this thing put in real quick and get cleaned up and head on down the road. So you guys have a good one. Keep on jeeping on. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.